Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about something that I've never done before. I learned something new, and in this case I learned to code with Python by watching about 3 hours out of 12 video on YouTube about coding in Python. Thanks to Bro Code for making that video, thank you. And as the title said, this is only the first 3 hours out of 12 hours of that video. So I won't claim that I've learned or mastered Python. I cannot even call myself a coder or programmer for sure. So no, this video will not teach you how to code. An actual coder / programmer with extra time and some incentive from your pocket will happily do that for you. So for context and background, I got a degree in chemical engineering, and one experience that is close to my degree is my experience working as an intern at fertilizer industry for a couple months. And after that, my career basically just went quite far away from engineering related jobs. So I worked about 1 year in product development and 6 years in business development. So yeah, now you know why there's an asterisk there in the video title. I'm not an engineer. So yeah, I'm not really an engineer, and I'm for sure not a programmer or coder. So what have I learned from this so-called, experiment? Well, I wouldn't say nothing because I learned to code a simple operation like this one. Yeah, I know it's a simple code, but I learned something. And also I learned about the difference between string, which is basic text, integer, which is whole number, no decimals, float is basically numbers with decimals, and boolean, which is yes or no statement, or true and false. And if you really want to be a good coder, you have to master this function. So I obviously won't repeat or conclude what I watch, but I want to talk about some similarities between engineering and coding. For there are some, and namely, they both involve logic and language. I know it's kind of obvious, but I do have some example for that. Make no mistake though, sometimes they don't really mix. I mean, take English language for example. If you want to change present tense into past tense, we usually add ed in the end of our word, like ask become ask, jump become jump, play become played, etc. But we all know that's not all words behave like that. I mean, go became when, eat become ate, and red become red, and many more. And that's the only one part of these inconsistencies, if you will. I mean, like sometimes a noun, basically a thing, can be a verb or an action or occurrence in English. So technically, this is a sentence. That is a sentence. Yeah. Logic and language sometimes doesn't mix. Okay, enough sidetracking. Let me give you an example. Say, as a non-coder or non-programmer, you want to make some kind of menu list on your coffee shop, for example. What is your first line of thought? Well, what kind of things that we can buy from that menu, right? You can just input, I don't know, like milk, rice, or something, and suddenly there's milk in your list. I mean, besides, what does milk is supposed to mean anyway? Milk as in pure milk, milkshake, chocolate milk? Point is, we need some context. And in this case, we need to make our list first. Don't get caught up by those, like weird styles of writing. I'm just showing you this because we need to build, or in another case, we can also import some kind of list so that our user or us can choose what kind of menu that he or she wants. Okay, we set some kind of context, and after you want to choose something from the list, say, I don't know, pasta and milkshake for example, we can input them both. And this is the next line of code. Again, don't get too caught up by this style of writing. And you notice that there is something like, like press Q to quit. And to be honest, my mind was blown when I listened to the explanation why this line of code need to exist. For sure, you can just input your menu indefinitely. That would be absurd. That's why there's some kind of exit route or escape route that you have to think about when you wrote the code. In this context, choosing your menu. And moreover, you also need to exclude some item that's not on the menu. For example, there is no tacos in there, so you have to exclude it. That's why we need some kind of extra line of code that basically say that if you input another food or drink that's not on the list, we will exclude that. That's basically it. And this is the rest of the code. As you can see, logic behind this code is pretty simple. We need to put our order into some kind of container or cart in this case. You cannot just create a code that allows some input, i.e. menu, and just leave it as is. That will be, pardon my language, quite silly. And in my opinion, that's the beauty of coding. It really makes you think about any possibility that user might do when you write your code, i.e. wrong input, some kind of exit strategy, etc. Granted, this is only small part of the coding. I mean, in this case, I only watched the video 3 hours, the first 3 hours. So this is not to discourage you from trying to code. I'm just saying that you need to be prepared. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to all coders and programmers for creating useful program for us. So many nuance when creating just one operation, and I can really imagine when that one function turns into many line of codes. And more often than not, it will also come with many bugs. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what kind of knowledge or lesson that you want me to learn next, or I just continue watching that last 9 hours of that video just for completion's sake. And lastly, thank you for watching this video. If you find value from this video, please interact with me with liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and other means. And see you in next video. Bye.